If you're buying or selling a house or a condo or a villa, home inspection is usually part of the process, and it should be part of the process. David Nason is the host of the Fix It Show, and he's a home inspector. You hear the Fix It Show here 7 to 9 a.m. on Saturdays. And Julie Arnstein is the executive director of the Wisconsin Association of Home Inspectors. David, Julie, thank you so much for being with us.
Great. Thanks for having us, John.
Thank you.
I'm a big believer in you should get a home inspection. You can waive a lot of things, but man, you're asking for big trouble if you decide not to have a professional like you, David, inspect your house. Why is it important that when you're tempted in a competitive market to waive contingencies that you think long and hard before you waive a home inspection?
Well, you're absolutely right, John. All the things that are unseen that a home inspector is going to find. And, as a homeowner, we all know that there's things that in our houses, no, not mine. My house is perfect, of course.
You do have a good house, actually, seriously.
But actually it's not perfect. I tell people that all the time. But there are things that people aren't going to see. Most people aren't spending any time in their attic at all. They're not popping their head up there and looking to see if there's any moisture condensation issues going on up there. Most people aren't moving things away from their basement walls and looking closely at their walls. Chris Mancuso talks about that all the time. Get down there with a flashlight and look at your foundation. But those are some of the big things. Or even going on your roof. Most people do not go up on their roof, which is a good thing because unless you're really trained or have a lot of experience going on your roof, it's not a good place to go climbing around.
Well, and the average homeowner or home buyer likely can't keep up with all the rule changes, the different laws that may affect something on the property they're looking to buy or looking to sell.
Exactly. So that's very true. Got to remember that a home inspector is not a code inspector. We don't look to make sure your house meets code. We're there to see what the condition of the home is. And also mostly for safety hazards, things like that.
Julie, are people more and more often in this market coming out of COVID waiving home inspections?
Well, I would unfortunately say yes. And I don't know that it's COVID related. It's stock related.
Market driven.
It's the housing. It's the housing shortage that seemed to be the big culprit about a year and a half ago that created this kind of frenzy of multiple buyers for one property. And people were losing out. They wouldn't be the chosen one. So they'd put a bid on another house and not be the chosen one on that one. And it started to evolve in an effort to be the chosen one, start waiving some contingencies. And unfortunately, that has proven to be a mistake, unfortunately, for a fair number of people. Not only were they waiving contingencies, but they were also overbidding on these properties. And now they get in the house. They think they've got their dream house, but they run into some big ticket items, be it a foundation, be it a roof. Maybe it needs a new heating and cooling system. And now they've put so much more money into the house, they don't necessarily have that in their savings for some necessary repairs.
I can appreciate and understand how a seller would want to accelerate the process, make it as easy as possible. Cash is great. Let's just do that. And I can understand the same aspect from the buyer. Let's just get it in, get it done. How can I separate myself from other potential buyers? Why is it even allowed? Why are you allowed to buy a house without having it be inspected?
Because it's not a law. We've discussed that, whether or not that should be something we talk about. If the state of Wisconsin should enact any kind of law or legislation to require that. But I think you can buy a car without having a mechanic look at it. You can make any other purchase without doing your own due diligence. It's I don't know.
Because it's America.
Yeah, really. That's really what it comes down to. You can't make some. There used to be for a time something called a code compliance inspection was required, where a municipal building inspector would have to come through and check the house for code compliance. And I think during the Walker era, that law was repealed because it was causing too many problems. The reality is we have so many homes that are really old that cannot meet our current code. Again, we're not a code inspector, but they just cannot meet code. So that's why it's more of the condition of the home and safety feature or issues.
Julie.
There are some government loans that do require a home inspection. But we're shocked that lenders don't require a home inspection. It's amazing that isn't part of the process.
You would think that somebody who's laying out that kind of money wouldn't want some kind of, something to stand behind, knowing what they're purchasing.
Julie, are there a shortage of home inspectors?
I wouldn't say there's a shortage of home inspectors. They're out there. Due to the current market and the decline in home inspections, some home inspectors have had to make a career change or add something supplemental onto their home inspection business. But I wouldn't say there's a shortage. Would you agree with that?
Well, we have lost some, but a shortage, no.
Correct.
So, and in any up and down cycle of any market, any industry, you're going to have gains and losses of people that are in that industry.
David, it's Lung Cancer Awareness Month, and the second leading cause of lung cancer in the United States is radon. Among non-smokers, it is the leading cause of lung cancer. Are home inspectors trained to test for radon? And how much more is this on your radar today than it was maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago?
Yeah. I started being a home inspector 10 years ago, so it's always been on my radar. But it is, as you said, second leading cause of lung cancer. Very important. It's something that you should be trained. Unfortunately, the state of Wisconsin's lagging behind a lot of the country where we do not have any regulations here in Wisconsin. We all follow the EPA's guidelines. And so you'll find most inspectors have taken some course, an 8 or 16-hour course, to get some minimal amount of training. At someday when Wisconsin does enact a requirement, then we'll all have to get certified to do that. I would say most of I know you talk about Lifetime Radon. I know them as well. They are all certified nationally to do what they do as far as radon mitigation systems.
All right, we've got 1 minute left, and I want to make sure that you let people know, Julie, you guys have a training coming up. If you're interested in becoming a home inspector, you want to find more, head down that path. You have a training coming up, right? When and where is that?
We do. Starting this Monday, November 6th, we have a training for individuals interested in entering the home inspection industry. We call it our pre-licensing home inspection training course. That starts, as I said, Monday, and that's in West Dallas. You can visit our website and find all the information you need. And then the following Friday, November 10th and Saturday the 11th, we have a 2-day training program for existing home inspectors looking for continuing ed. And that information as well is on our website.
So what is the website again if people want that?
It is www.wahigroup.com. That's WAHIGROUP.com.
wahigroup.com. Julie Arnstein is the executive director of the Wisconsin Association of Home Inspectors. You know David Nason, you hear him on the Fix It Show every Saturday from 7 to 9 a.m., and he is also a home inspector here in Wisconsin. Yep. David, Julie, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, John.
Thank you,
Greg.